the NIEA Board of Directors, the local planning committee, and the membership of NIEA for this award. I am very humbled, I am very honored to receive the reward, and I feel very old. I would also like to thank others. There's a long list. I can't begin to thank everybody. You know, but it goes back to family, it goes back to relationships that you have that are important. Family being critical relationship. My parents who valued education and pointed me in that direction. My father was Comanche. He went to Fort Sill Indian School. My mother, Cherokee, she went to Chilocco. They saw the value of education for our family, my brothers and my sisters. And I'd like to thank my own family, you know, for putting up with me over the years in dealing with education. Because we know it's hard work. It is hard work. There's nothing easy about it, and we're away a lot of the time doing that type of work. But you know what? This award is not about me. This award is about the people that I have worked with over the years. It's about individuals who have stood with me along the way, who have helped me in various kinds of ways, given me advice, serving as mentors, supporting me when times are difficult. Because we know that Indian education is not easy. It's very complex. We run into roadblocks and challenges and difficulties along the way. We need that kind of support group to help us. We cannot do it alone, as you all know. So that's what this award is about to me. It's those individuals who have helped me along the way. I am now at Arizona State University. I'm Director of American Indian Studies. At Arizona State, we have over 2,000 American Indian students. I like American Indian Studies. I'll say why in a few minutes. I'm also, as was mentioned, at Penn State University, and there, you know, we were involved in developing leaders for American Indian education. And those individuals are making differences around the country in the work that they do. But leadership, we know, is very important. All of you are leaders. We all can be leaders in different kinds of ways. It doesn't mean that we have to be a principal or a superintendent or a director of some sort. We can be leaders as parents, as concerned tribal citizens in education, in promoting education, promoting the inclusion of what we want in education, including languages and culture. Today, you know, I'm involved in a number of things besides being Director of American Indian Studies. I've been involved in education for a long time, like was mentioned, over 4 decades. 46 years to be exact. That's a long time. And you know what? I'm not done yet. We continue to strive and move forward in various kinds of ways. One activity that I really treasure a lot is my involvement with Comanche Nation College here in Oklahoma, the first tribal college in the state of Oklahoma. Now we have 4. We are 10 years old as Comanche Nation College. Next month, November, right around the corner, we are going to be accredited. That's a milestone for our college. It means we can do certain things on our own and promote, you know, the inclusion of language and culture in what we call a Comanche-centered education. I'm very proud of that work. But when I think about over the 40 years plus, you think about where we've been, where we are, and where we want to go, many things come to my mind. I wish I had a lot of time to talk with you about this. We're better off in a lot of ways. We have more Indian people involved in education. We have more teachers. We have more principals. We have more counselors. We have more students. in our schools. So we're better off. When we see success stories, like these students sitting before us in these orange shirts with their bright faces. They're eager to learn. There's more of that going on. So there's more success stories. We see that in conferences like this. We see that in the students that we work with. But you know what? There are so many students who are not as successful, that are not doing well in education, that are struggling for all kinds of reasons. You know, recent research, dropout study that I was involved in, we found that in the 7 states with the most American Indian students, the dropout rate averaged about 50%. We're concerned about that. Why is that? That so many students do not do well. Why is it so many students do well? There are all kinds of reasons for it. It's a very complex issue, something that we need to think about and talk about more. The reform efforts that have taken place over the past 40 years, the changes in education, have resulted in some good things. Like I said, we're more involved, there's more activity. But also, when you think about it, the emphasis today is on reading, math, science, which are important. We want our young people to excel in those areas. But also, there are other areas that we should look at when we think about student success. You know, our students and who they are and who they, what kinds of activities, leadership activities we're involved in. When we look at education, you know, we have education change and reform over the past probably 20, 25 years. It's moved towards making education more of a standard kind of activity. Standardization of education has taken place. And it's good in some ways, but maybe so not in other ways. Has it pushed out what we want? Part of what we want anyway. Has it pushed out language and culture from our schools? We like to think not. In many places it hasn't because of leadership, but in other places it has. And we focus a lot on test taking, skills, test results, those kinds of things. And maybe we're not thinking so much about who we are and the strengths we have as Native people and how those things can be nurtured in schools to help us achieve in those other areas. Why can't we focus on language and culture at the same time achieve in math, in science, in reading?